Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how Carmageddon 2, a 15-year-old game that many people think has fairly so-so artificial intelligence, actually has a brilliant, almost uncanny ability to predict what the player is going to do in advance. Now here we see me driving the yellow truck. Here I am dodging around the mines there, and I come across Mad Morris. He just comes in my direction. I hit him, and I turn him over on his side. But I get tired of him because I know two other opponents are nearby, so I just kind of leave him there. And you can see the bus. You can see the big bus. Oh, and also the Riviera there. And I just miss him, so I slam into the fence accidentally. But here I back up, and boom! I managed to waste the Riviera. But now there's a big bus. I'm going to see if I can get that big bus there, because I just got a nice power-up, you know, the repulsificator. So I want to use that on him. So, ooh, there it goes, a big bus. He just happens to drive by. So I spin around, and look what happens here. The bus gets stuck underneath the bridge there. It actually gets stuck underneath the bridge. So I spin around here like this, and I don't want to dislodge him. I want to come from the other side so I can actually ram him under there better. Boom! I use my repulsificator. And look at this! Look at that! Look at that! Mad Morris, did you see that? Mad Morris just happens to drive by at exactly the moment. See there? At exactly the moment that I miss the bus, Mad Morris drives by at perfect timing. Now, if I show this to the AI naysayers, they're going to say, "Oh, that was not artificial intelligence. The game had no ability to predict what you were going to do in advance. That was just, that was just a sheer coincidence. Mad Morris just happened to be driving along at that particular moment and just happened to go by when you wasted the bus, and it had no idea that you're going to waste the bus. Certainly had no idea that you're going to waste the bus that way." Well, I want to prove that that's not true. I want to prove that the AI predicted exactly when I was going to waste the bus and exactly how I was going to waste it. So let's see this again from Mad Morris's point of view. Here you can see him going along. Boom! He slams into me. He gets turned over onto his side, and I drive off. I just leave him there. And there you can just see him. He's just laying there. Now watch his front wheels. See how his front wheels are kind of turned in one direction, and they're going to straighten out. I don't know why, whether it has anything to do with the AI or not, but they straighten out a little bit. But anyway, I'm chasing after Riviera. I'm wasting the Riviera about this time. You can see the bus just drove by. Now the bus is going to turn around and come back in a moment and going to head in my direction. There he goes. He's going in my direction there. And he's going to get lodged underneath the bridge there. Now watch Mad Morris. Now Mad Morris, a very specific moment, Mad Morris is going to suddenly turn into the shadow. Boom, there he goes. He turns into shadow mode and he comes in my direction there. Now look at that. He's going exactly in my direction, spinning around, going around the curve here at exactly a specific moment, and boom, exactly as I'm wasting the bus, he drives by. Now let's see this in split screen view. There I go. I hit Mad Morris there, spin him over around on his side like that. I just leave him there. I go around to chase the other vehicles. You can see Mad Morris is just laying there, and I'm driving off into the distance. Now here I'm chasing after the Riviera. I miss the Riviera. I hit the fence instead, so I back up and I spin around, and there comes the Riviera. He gets wasted. Now I'm trying to get turned around here so I can chase after the bus here. So I back up not quite far enough here. Now you can see the bus on the left side. You can see the bus coming in my direction. Boom, you just saw the bus drive by me. Alright, here I go. I'm chasing after the bus now. Here I come towards the bus. At that exact moment, there I pass the bus. At exactly that moment when I pass the bus, Mad Morris turns into the shadow. He comes, and as you can see, just boom! Exactly after I waste the bus, Mad Morris drives by. Now let's analyze this, and you'll see that the AI showed an almost Sherlock Holmes-like ability to predict exactly what I was planning to do and exactly when I was going to do it. Now the first clue it used to figure out what I was planning to do was when I actually came towards the bus, but I passed the bus by. I didn't slam into the bus because I knew that the bus would be dislodged if I did that, and the AI knew that I knew that. That was the first clue. Now the second clue was when I started skidding. Right after I passed the bus, I started hitting the brakes and kind of coming to a skidding turn there, that signaled to the AI that I was not just going to go somewhere else on the map, that I was actually noticed the bus. I was turning around, I was about to attack the bus from the other direction. Now, how did the AI know that I was probably going to use the repulsificator on the bus? Well, first of all, it knew that I had the repulsificator active, and secondly, I was coming towards the bus at a very slow speed, not fast enough to really slam into it very hard. So that's what told the AI that I was not going to hit it, but I was going to use the power-up on it. So by that time, when I actually did use the repulsificator, Mad Morris was already about to round the bend there. Another successful prediction. So it really showed a lot of traits of really strong intelligence. I mean, it showed the ability to understand what the player was going to do, understand the player's motivations, and exactly when the player was going to do it. And it was able to deduce, to use logical reason, really, to deduce exactly what the player was going to do and exactly when, so it could send the next opponent in the player's direction at the right time in order to keep the game running smoothly and at a rapid pace. But you know what? Another intriguing possibility suggested itself to me. Maybe it wasn't just a case of the AI predicting what the player was going to do. Maybe it was a case of the AI actually leading the player on to do what the AI wanted him to do. Maybe think about it. Maybe the AI made the bus deliberately get stuck underneath the bridge all along with the idea that it could get the player to come around and to use the power-up on the bus. I mean, it's a definite possibility, and I've been wondering this for some time now, whether it's possible that the AI can actually manipulate or lead the player on in order to play the game the way the AI wants. And if this is true, this means that the AI is not just a passive participant in the gameplay, but it is actually a creative, a full creative participant, and almost like its own screenwriter, and actually writing out how the game should proceed and getting the player to do what it wants. I have been thinking of this possibility for some time, like when I was battling with the coup de grace and I got it flipped over like this, and I thought of the idea of pushing it under this ramp and wasting it under the ramp. And you can see in the split screen view that the jet car knew all along that it was waiting there for the whole time that I was battling with the coup de grace, like it knew that I was going to have the idea of pushing it under the ramp and wasting it that way. So that's another case where I wonder, maybe the AI had the idea of me wasting the jet car all along. When I was battling out with coup de grace, the AI is the one that flipped the coup de grace over upside down. The AI is the one that flipped it near the ramp with the sole intention that I would have the idea of pushing coup de grace underneath the ramp and wasting it that way. So that's really pretty freaky when you think about it. The AI is not only creative like that, but can use psychology to kind of get the player to do what the AI wants. So it makes you wonder who's playing who here. Am I playing a video game, or is the video game playing me? It's kind of freaky when you think about it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and be sure to check out my other videos for some equally freaky examples of artificial intelligence in the video game of Carmageddon. Thanks for watching.